Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are we doing today? I know there's probably a few people that are a little bit shocked that I'm even live yet, but we will wait for a few minutes for people to come in and then we will get started. So, yeah, I know everybody's just dying to hear me ramble on. Just kidding. So, yeah, make sure everybody is aware that we are live. Um, why isn't there? Okay, I see there's one person here. As you are watching, definitely let me know where you're coming in from. Good morning, Lily. I will be reaching out to you after this is done, and we'll cover what we need to cover with you. So, welcome, Taz. How you doing, Tracy? People are starting to populate the chat room, so I know we're gonna have a little bit of humor right away, and I'm doing good. Just yeah, I way overslept this morning, so normally I get about 4 hours, and this today I actually got 10 hours. So I'm doing a lot better than I was, but I think people are gonna get a good chuckle out of this. Well, um, yeah. So yeah. Anyways, um, there was a few people that were curious as to what we're what our plans are, how we're going to move forward, what we're going to do moving forward, and we're we are actually in the process of writing our own articles, or I am anyways, because I'm the one writing them. But we are actually putting together. Oh, I just sent a message out there, but um, so guys, there's a bunch of stuff that we're working to do. We're definitely moving forward in regards to where we're going with this channel, what we're going to do. Um, we're getting ready to do expose articles in regards to people who showed up on a list that was sent to me, and it had addresses, telephone numbers, all that stuff. So we're putting together dossiers on each and every single person on that list, and we're gonna literally start putting that out on the website very shortly. So it's not some of the stuff I can't even bring on air because it's that disturbing. So it, man, either YouTube's really behind or Twitch is really behind because I'm not. I see everybody there, but yeah, it's only showing two people on my end. So yeah, good morning, Winks. Glad to see that you're here. And guys, I'm doing my morning routine, getting my cup of coffee. Oh, it's showing 18 on yours. Maybe it's just showing it a little bit late. So, oh, yeah, I don't know what's going on with the notifications. For some reason, everybody's been saying that it's not notifying people when we're live. So, morning from Ohio. Hello, Starlin 22. Yeah, my screen still says 2. So, yeah, I'm sure it's gonna jump here very quickly. But yeah, so guys, when we talk about illegal aliens and getting driver's licenses, one of the first headlines that I found this morning, just and it actually just popped up while I was on head-on crash leaves 8 illegal aliens or 8 illegal immigrants dead in Texas near the border. Well, we're we used to always hear stories about vehicles hitting deer, so on and so forth. We're going to start seeing more and more of these stories where illegal aliens are being killed near the border, driving with a driver's license that they got from California because they can get them from California, unfortunately. So I just think it's just gonna get worse each and every single day. There's a lot of people going to the borders to really try to stem the tide. So, but hello from North Carolina. Welcome, Kimberly. So, guys, we're gonna do a few things different this morning. I'm gonna try to cover a few news articles that I found, and then something that just popped up, and I can't, I don't remember who that Jam Ustagrand. I probably butchered the name, but I apologize. They sent a news article from Zero Hedge, and Zero Hedge is actually a fairly decent publication. But Italy launches a manslaughter investigation after teacher dies hours after getting the AstraZeneca. You know what, the jab. After law enforcement authorities in Sicily and Piedmont seized batches of the AstraZeneca COVID jab, prosecutors in the EU's third largest economy have launched a manslaughter investigation after a music teacher died just hours after receiving the jab. Guys, I don't know. Have you guys been paying attention to like the VAERS report and some of that? Because what you're seeing with the as these new shots come out, and you start everything starts getting reported, you're going to see that death toll spike. And so usually, roughly the yearly flu virus vaccine that you can get, um, there's usually between 5 and 10,000 people each and every single year that pass away due to that shot, complications or whatever. But what we're seeing is we've literally had these jabs out for less than 3 months, and or actually, yeah, less than 3 months, and we're already hitting that toll quicker than ever before. So I'm definitely a little bit more cautious in regards to telling people that they should get it. They shouldn't, because of course I can't get it, and that's personal for personal reasons. But I'm not considered an anti-vaxxer. But in regards to this one, I don't believe it's tested or effective enough. So people really need to do their due diligence and read the inserts in regards to the vaccines And whether it's the current one that they're pushing or whether it's any of the others, read the inserts, because the inserts are contracts. Literally, if you do not read that insert and you take it, there's no recourse. If you read the insert and you take it, there's no recourse. It is considered implied consent. If you get it, there is implied consent that you have, being sound of mind and everything, you have agreed to hold them harmless. So just remember, again, make your own personal choice. I'm not going to say yay or nay. I'm not getting it, but that's because of certain other reasons. So I am one of those people who is not going to tell people how to run their lives. You guys pretty much already know what I believe and how I believe. So I'm not gonna pound on that same nail. We're not gonna beat that same dead horse. So definitely, guys, just make a smart decision. So you live in California sometimes. Well, welcome. I'm glad to see that you're here. Missouri's here. So flying back to Cali on the 29th. Hello from Missouri. Welcome everybody. And guys, there's a video, and I'm gonna share it. Even though I know it could get me in a little bit of trouble, but I'm gonna share it. And I think it's important for people to understand working folk. Let's see how they. I'm gonna see if I can't switch the. Yeah, we're gonna go to that one. Okay. So. Yeah. So we're gonna go.
Here's my thing. Texas is open back up with no masks, no mandates, no nothing. You start going to some of these locations. Oh, you need your mask. Nope, not doing it. Oh, you gotta do this. Nope, not doing it. My kids will not be learning about transgender bullshit in school. They will not get vaccinated to go there. I will not take a shot to keep a job. I don't give a fuck what it pays me or how good the hours are.
Excuse the language, guys.
Sure, you need this. You need to get the fuck out of my face. Oh, I can't work anymore? Bye. You're not, no one's controlling me. People, y'all need to have a backbone. You need to take care of yourself. Don't take a shot that has a 95% rate that you may beat this shit. Your body's immune system that God gave you has a 99.8. The injection you're taking has less than that. Chances that you won't get it or you recover from it. Fuck that. I used to work for the government. I don't trust the government. No longer will I fucking abide by the rules. I'm tired of this bullshit control.
Sorry about the language, guys, but what the guy illustrates what 90% of Americans feel. The control needs to end. We're not sheep. I mean, granted, there are a lot of people out there that are sheep, but we are a free people. And to try to implement the kind of control that they are trying to implement, it goes to show how stupid people are. We as a nation need to grow a backbone. As Republicans, we need to grow a backbone. As independents, we need to grow a backbone. If you look at the Republican Party, they give up their dreams and their hopes and their cares if a major bill that's not popular doesn't go through. If the polling numbers don't match up, they're just like, nah, no, we're just going to go away from that. Guys, think about this. The liberals have been playing the long game. They try to pass the same BS laws each and every single year. And anybody who says that I'm telling a lie, go and check in all the different Congresses. Well, I think we're in the 119th Congress, and maybe I'm wrong, but if I am, somebody can correct me. But I think we're in the 119th Congress. Guys, if we weren't, if they can play the long game, we're seeing all this change that was started back in the 50s and the 60s, 5 decades ago. Every single year they try to pass the same laws over and over and over until they pass, and it fundamentally changes America. If we were back in the 1950s and 1960s, you would have never seen half the crap that you see today. Why? Because people actually went to work, they did a lot of stuff, and you didn't see a whole lot of people on food stamps. Yeah, you've seen some, and I'm not going to discount them because there's a reason food stamps is there, and I believe that there's, in some circumstances, that they are necessary. But I just I look at all these people, and they're talking about how they're so excited to get these shots, and they're so excited to be able to move forward with their own life and get all their friends and their family together again. According to Dr. Anthony Fauci, which I think needs to have his medical degree yanked from him, but that's besides the point. I think a lot of people need to understand that these guys do not have your best interest in hand. They do not have your best interest in their own mind. Everybody and their dog knows that Anthony Fauci has been pushing. He started out with the AIDS pandemic earlier in his life in the 1980s. 1 second, guys. But yeah, so he started doing the fear and prostitution or fear pimping back in the 1980s. And what was it then? Everybody we must beat the AIDS pandemic. It is absolutely a growing crisis that we need to fix. And I'm just like, come on. Really? Have they found a cure for AIDS? Have they found a cure for polio? Have they found a cure for breast cancer? How about glioblastoma, which is brain cancer? You guys, when you have a 99.9% chance of living, or 99.7% chance of living, excuse me, focus on the stuff that actually matters. Don't spend billions of dollars in research on a flu bug. Don't spend billions of dollars on researching a virus that will pass through your body and be done. I understand people are dying. I understand the need for vaccines. But seriously, in the heart of hearts, when you look at the true numbers of people dying and people actually paying it and expiring, if you actually look at the actual numbers, the numbers don't lie. So according to the CDC, they're figuring only 6% of all the people in the whole world. If you take the whole world, only 6% of those people have passed away because of the virus itself. That's zero comorbidities. So they were healthy people. They didn't have widowmakers. They didn't have high blood pressure, high cholesterol. They didn't have any of these. And I know this is going to get chopped. I guarantee it. So I'm going to say my piece while I can say it. When you are that oblivious to the needs and the cares of the people in which you rule over, you are no longer fit to rule. Anthony Fauci, he's been in his job. He's the highest paid government employee, even higher paid than the president. Now, how do you get to be that well paid? Well, you better have a fear mongering or a vaccine or a virus pimp. You better be the best dang virus pimp you could ever find, because guess what? That's the only way you're getting paid. So everybody I know who got the shot has been sick or had some horrible reaction to it. Solidifies my feelings on not getting it. Yes, absolutely. I have family members who have gotten the shot, and there are some of my family members who have lost jobs because of refusal to get the shot. Guys, they are playing the long game, and it's sad. So Fauci, Pelosi, Schumer, Biden, and Harris can all take the AstraZeneca shot. Once they take it and survive, which they won't, then I'll still not get it. Yep, I agree, Jason. The numbers weren't high enough, so let's put sick people in nursing homes. You know, as much as I didn't really care to have the nursing homes and all that stuff locked down, here's my take on that. So, guys, when you put sick people in a nursing home, I don't care if they have the flu, I don't care if they have COVID, I don't care about any of that. When you put sick people in a nursing home with people who have multiple comorbidities, let's say age, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, and that's just to name just a few off the top. But when you have multiple comorbidities, the chances you passing away go up a lot higher. I mean, you look at the numbers, and the numbers don't lie. When you sit there and you look at all these people trying to prostitute fear and pimp out fear, it makes things look even worse than they are. If it was so bad, why was the Mercy ship not used in New York? If the numbers of the people dying were so bad, why weren't those ships used? They sat in the harbor for how long, and did they ever get used? I don't think that they ever saw a patient. According to the reports that I saw, I don't believe they did. But guess what? People don't care. They're all about let's prostitute the fear, because guess what, guys? We can make lots of money. That's all it's been for them. Money. COVID relief package, COVID relief package, COVID relief package, COVID relief package. We have done over the course of the year and 1 month that we've been going through this, 15 days to stop spread turns into over $6 trillion spent to combat a bug. But wait a second, $6 trillion. What was that to combat the spread? No. We actually only spent $1.5 trillion on combating the spread and making sure people stayed safe and stayed at home. What we really wanted was we wanted the National Arts Museum, the Smithsonian, the what all else? Oh, Schumer's Bridge and Pelosi's bailouts. We just wanted to use those as a cover to make sure that those got paid and we could bail out these blue states. Guys, they will perpetuate fear no matter where you go. They, as a good friend once said, the Democrats have already said, never let a crisis go to waste. And boy, they have never let a crisis go to waste. When it comes to gun control, Majorie Stoneman High School, school shooting, Columbine, all these places, they take that and boom, let's push gun control. Then you had H1N1, and it was a Democrat president, so we're not gonna talk about that. So we're just gonna brush it under the rug and try to keep people happy. Keep putting money in people's pockets because guess what? That's all that they need. But guys, they never let a good crisis go to waste. And it's only a good crisis if it happens under Republican leadership. Anybody who's been paying attention to what has been going on with Joe Biden, nothing. He'd rather keep pumping people full of fear and keep that gas pedal moving. Welcome, Sam. I'm sure you have lots to say about the jabs. And one of these days, I might just have to invite a couple of the nurses that are here with us. I might have to invite a couple of you guys on and actually talk to you guys because I know that's it'd be kind of a fun panel. So if they would have transferred to the ship, the hospitals wouldn't have gotten that 30,000. Yeah, and yeah, it's absolutely terrible. I've done lots of reaching out to a lot of different people. I know a lot of people that work in the hospitals out in New York, out in California. I am in touch with a lot of my friends that I went to college with who literally went on to be doctors, and they're exceptional people. And they tell me every single time I talk to them, Shane, this is a travesty. This should never have happened. We've been sitting here not being able to do too much. We spend more time on the ICU floor than we do anything else, and the ICU floor has people who should have never been in ICU in the first place. So Biden is announcing the largest tax increase for 30 years. Guess what? We will never, ever increase your taxes if you make under $400,000. Isn't that the promise that we heard throughout the campaign? Yeah, guys, there's never been an honest bone in a Democrat's body, and it's not gonna change anytime soon. The control is our new. You know what? Let's pull this up. Oh man, Sam, A barber, I would absolutely love some of that. Strawberry, blueberry, blackberry, raspberry. I'm a big fan of the raspberry jams. COVID floors full of patients who should not be there. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if and see, also it would take is somebody who works in the billing department of a hospital to come forward and blow the whistle on the billing practices, because if you were to actually look at the billing and the coding side of things, a lot of people would be absolutely disgusted with how much money those hospitals were raking in. So I'm going to talk. I'm going to talk about this one. This control is our new normal, only if we allow it. That was their plan for day one. Yeah, it was their plan, but America. The last time I checked, Americans are a free and independent people. We the only way we lose our freedoms is if we give them up. And how do we give them up? By not saying anything when all this is starting to be perpetuated on us. It's this is the reason I say talk, get out there, put yourself out there, because guess what? If you don't, they're going to keep on marching to the beat of the control drum. Life insurance doesn't cover it. On experimentals, life insurance will not pay out. And anybody who says it's not experimental, why the heck did they have to have emergency authorization? If all of these were proven and effective, they wouldn't have to apply for emergency authorization. And I know I'm going to have a fact checker that's going to come on here, and they're going to say, well, we had to do an emergency one just to fast track it going through the process. Actually, no, you don't. If the studies and everything actually stand up on their own, you can apply for authorization. It doesn't have to be an emergency one. You can apply for authorization and put an urgent tag on it, and it'll automatically move to the top of the queue for them to look at. And if the studies and the data actually support it, then it'll go. See, by using the emergency authorization, the FDA administrators actually do not even have to look at any of the data. So the FDA just rubber stamps, boom, here you go, boom, here you go. They don't have to look at the data. And the companies do not have to present the data. But there is a way for them to actually move that to the top of the line, still present all the data, and actually be able to get it done. So anytime there's a normal authorizations, in order for it to get a normal authorization and actually be considered a non-experimental, there has to be the facts and the data behind it. And if you actually look at these different jabs that they have out there, not a single one of them actually has a white sheet, which tells me that it's not a complete jab. It's not been studied. It's not been proven effective. Manufacturer's website says it's in phase 3 until 2023. Yeah, phase 3 trials, they take a long time, and we are the human guinea pigs. But most people don't want to hear that. Most people do not want to hear that. And I don't, at this point, guys, this whole thing's been about stuff that could get me banned from YouTube. So who cares? But I'm I'm trying to get a hold of a person, and if I can get a hold of this person, they what they do is they actually write the policies for hospitals and their billing. So I'm gonna see if I can get them and do an interview with them because they were telling me about the all this stuff, and I'm just like, well, could you attest to it on camera and actually provide proof? And they said yes, but I'm almost certain I will lose my job over it. Yeah, I agree with that. So, but guys, there there's a normal authorizations path, and if they don't go down the authorizations path and just go emergency authorization with no testing, guess what? You're the human subject, and you know darn well that if you're the human subject, you're not covered, and there's zero recourse that you can take. So, but I am definitely he can wear a mask. Yeah, she could, but we're right now. I'm working through some logistics, and if and when she feels comfortable, I will actually get her on. So yeah, but I know some of you guys have questions and all that, so I'm gonna go through and see if I have missed any questions up here. Good morning, Diana Black. Glad to see you made it. So, hubby and I had COVID, but high blood pressure. Don't trust it at all with having, yeah. There's a lot of people that are in the same boat. So, um, yeah. Thought I was gonna die almost 50 years ago after the flu jab. Never will take another one. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are absolutely terrified of that. So, but I know a lot of people have conditions, and I will not tell people not to get it. People know my belief and they know why. But the reason you don't say that is because if you say that you would recommend, then you could be considered um, spreading medical misinformation, and that's a one strike violation, and you're kicked off of YouTube permanently. So, is there a good um if there is, I haven't found one yet. I mean, there's some that I mean I've had to have, but I try to stay as far away from them as possible. So as much as people, there's a time and a place for them, and I think it's important for people to make those decisions themselves. Um, like the liberals always say, and I actually like the saying in regards to stuff here. But the way I look at it is liberals always say it's my body, my choice when it comes to abortion, but they refuse to accept that when it comes down to vaccines. Why is that? It's just an agenda item. I'm happy for you. I don't know if that's what you wanted, but I mean, good job. I'm happy for you. What's good for one person isn't good for another. It's just you literally have to take a grain of salt. Isn't it sad that you can be held accountable by taking you off YouTube, etc.? And the World Health Organization, guys, the World Health Organization is funded pretty much primarily by the United States. So for the World Health Organization, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and the United States. So I think a lot of people don't understand that we're funding all these problems worldwide, and yet what do we get out of it? Nothing. We get crapped on. We were the ones who set up the United Nations. Guess what? United Nations has become increasingly anti-American. They do not serve our agenda anymore. They were set up as a world peace organization, but yet the World Health or the United Nations has been one of the biggest warmongering communities out there. World Health Organization was set up to promote health and accountability to governments. Oh, guess what? They don't have an investigative arm, so they can't really investigate crap. And all the community members under the World Health Organization, they're supposed to allow inspectors and stuff into their labs and actually be able to collect data. Guess what? Only the United States allows that, but everybody else doesn't. I mean, when you're sitting there and you're preaching about how all these missions work, and then do not follow through with them, you are just as bad as a problem. And the biggest problem is transparency. There is not a single person or government entity that is being transparent. And I agree. That's all I was saying. If people don't want it, it's their decision. But the thing is there are people that are actually being terminated from their jobs because they're not getting it. So when we go down, when we talk about people, and I know you might not agree with my way of thinking and all that. You know what? That's fine. I would rather have an honest discourse and not be attacking one another, and actually be able to sit down and have a variety of different opinions. Because honestly, I would rather have somebody who is of a differing opinion actually come on and say, hey, I disagree with you. I'll give you your 15 minutes to explain why you disagree with me. If people want to debate with me on air, we can arrange that. I am not afraid of that, because a differing of opinion is what makes this country great. This country is the way it is because we, as the American people, can actually have debates, open, honest debates, and we have the right to have our own opinion. So 80-year-old sister let her live granddaughter, who is a nurse practitioner, talk into getting the jab. Got it on the 24th and has been sick ever since. Was doing good and is now on O2 at, yeah. Yeah, it's terrible because I know there's other people in my family that are in the same situation, so I feel for you majorly. So you have my condolences. You have to make your own informed decision. We're all just making sure you all have the information. A decision based on a lie is not an informed decision. Weigh your own risk, but do it against quote unquote accurate information. Yeah. They're gonna once everybody's vaccinated, then they're gonna come out and say, oh well, we have a booster shot for you, and you will have to take that every year. Yeah. And guys, the booster shots are basically the same. It's just rinse and repeat. So yeah, World Health Organization wouldn't silence other health and medical professionals, experts from sharing valuable information with the public. If our guys, the World Health Organization is all about money. Who's paying them the most? And Bill and Melinda Gates, by far, are paying them the most money. Privately, they are paying the World Health Organization buku dollars to push this vaccine and all that. So both. Are all the old standard flu shots at risk? Guys, all of if you guys actually look at the structures of the flu, influenza A, influenza B, pneumococcal pneumonia, COVID-19, all of them. Just look at the actual structure of the vaccine itself, and you will notice one thing. They're all considered coronaviruses. All of them. So when you look at all of these, why is one more deadly than the other, or why are these PCP tests actually work, or why are there so many positives? Well, the positives are there because guess what? They're detecting all the coronaviruses, everything, all 1,000 plus coronaviruses that are in that family. There's no way they could change and just detect the one thing that's different about COVID-19 versus the others, which is an S protein. That's it. There is absolutely no difference besides the S protein spike on the virus itself. So we have this big fear factor, and everybody and their dog is talking about how much is going on and the fear that's being perpetuated. How many people, and I know a lot of you guys probably are going to say, oh no, how many people truly believe in the flu vaccine? If you believed in the flu vaccine, why, and the flu vaccine was so effective, why over the last 5 years where they're close to 100,000 people killed year over year over year with complications from flu and so on and so forth? Why did the since COVID came out, why did you actually see a decrease in deaths from the flu virus, but yet you've seen an increase in COVID-19 deaths? Why? if you look at the numbers year over year over year from the CDC, where they're studying actual deaths, and the total number of deaths per year from different viruses and so on and so forth, you actually see that the number actually dipped lower this last year than they have over the past 5 years. So and Sam, one of these days I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to get you on. That'd be awesome to have you on one of these days. So if it works out, just shoot me a message and we can do that. Your son-in-law is a respiratory therapist, daughter-in-law respiratory therapist, and daughter ICU. Yeah, and there are, but what your people are failing to realize is that it's complicated by the fact that most cases in these bigger cities, in these bigger places, first of all, they like to intubate because it's more money. I understand that there are bad cases, and I'm not going to take away from that. And I've been in the hospitals, worked with some COVID patients, so I know it's not a pretty sight. But there's in 8 out of 10 cases, those people also have underlying conditions that is causing it. You look at the actual statistics and the numbers and the people who have passed away. Over 65% of the people who have passed away are 55 and older. And out of that statistic, you look at the subset that has zero comorbidities, and that number shrinks down to about 2 or 3% out of that subset. And then you look at the rest of them, and you have 1 to 2, 2 to 4 comorbidities. And guess what? That's where you're going to see the majority of the people who have passed away. Yes, there are healthy people who have passed away, and it's unfortunate. But on the flip side of that coin, you look at the general population. Not that many people are passing away that have zero comorbidities. So, yeah, I mean, you and the data. I pull all my data from the CDC, so I'm not. People can fact check me. They could go into, and if I'm wrong, let me know. But I know from experience, just looking at the numbers and paying attention to the numbers and actually doing the math, because critical thinking is actually something that I do. And I know some people who are going to watch this after the fact may not do a little bit of, or may not be as critical thinkers as others. So, yeah. No deaths reported for heartaches and strokes or accidents. I think you're talking about heart attacks. And when you're talking about that, a couple of the reports I was reading, especially through PubMed, was talking about the fact that that S protein, one reason it's so effective is it's able to attach, but yet it's a hypercoagulator. So it's actually causing people's blood to clot. Especially if you're, I mean, I'm young, but I still take an aspirin a day. Because guess what? It's just smart. My blood pressure stays right in the normal range, but it was right on the edge of the higher blood pressure. So by taking my little aspirin a day, I'm at the low end. So I stay healthy. So, yeah, Sam Barber, when you have a free day, you just let me know, and we'll make it work. So, but guys, it has been an absolute pleasure this morning. I know this episode is probably going to be kicked off of YouTube. If it does, I will still be streaming on Twitch. So, guys, you guys know what to do. You guys, we have to stand on our own 2 feet. We actually have to stand up to the tyranny that's actually coming down from the government. You guys have a pen and a microphone. Use them. The silent majority can no longer stay silent. God bless you guys. God bless the United States of America. You have a great day. We will see you at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.